I would say a good death is a death where the family doesn't have to recover from feelings of guilt, inadequacy, not doing the right thing, and feeling like their loved ones could have had more done for them if they'd had the right care. My own experience was incredibly frustrating with my parents. Elaine and Roy were remarkable people. They gave me my sense of humour. My dad was a mechanic and a racing car driver, and he was a DIY guy. And my mother was an incredibly strong woman who her entire life has lived by equality for women. When they died, they were 99 and 96. Mum was 99, Dad was 96. They were in and out of hospital many times in the last year, and I just didn't seem to be able to access the people that I knew were there and I knew would make our lives so much better. Because we couldn't get enough support at home, they ended up going into respite for 2 weeks in residential aged care. And when Mum said she wanted to die because of a whole sequence of events that happened when she was in respite, they called an ambulance. They didn't even let her die there. She's in a big double room, all her family around. There's a bed beside her because Dad had died 3 weeks beforehand. There's a bed beside her. We could have all been with her in a comfortable room, making our cups of tea, and they said, "You have to call an ambulance. We don't provide that end of life for someone." And then we had to die in hospital, in emergency, and then in a ward because there were no palliative care beds. We get put into a curtained area and, well, if she wants to die, that means she doesn't have any treatment. It boggles the mind that in a place where most people are going to end up dying, that there's not the right skills available to help them do that in the best possible way. So we're there for over 24 hours in this curtained area where you don't want to be talking about end of life because someone's next door with a broken leg and they're freaking out, or something else is happening and they don't want someone behind the curtain going, "So Mum, we love you, we're sorry to say goodbye." Like you feel really exposed. You can't be yourself. You can't have a proper end of life experience. We were in a state of high tension about what we weren't doing. And we'd been through days of this so-called terminal agitation that we thought maybe came with death. Maybe that was normal, and we just had to suck it up and try and deal with Mum's physical grasping, sitting up, us pressing the button, "Bring more drugs." What do we know? We didn't know anything. And I can tell you exactly how palliative care would have changed my mother's dying, because the palliative care specialist came down after about 4 days to see how we were. This is what she saw straight away. "Your mum hasn't got a catheter. She needs catheterizing." And after Mum was catheterized, she was peaceful. She died about an hour later, just peacefully. All that suffering was taken away by one specialist walking into the room and saying she needs to be catheterized. It's very distressing to live with when you think you could have done better yourself. That's the worst part, that you fell at the last hurdle. And especially being a carer for 10 years and trying to put everything in place to help our elders reach safe harbour at the end of their lives, with as much pleasure and pain-free as possible, to feel like right at the end you just have completely let them down. I blame myself that I didn't go up to the palliative care ward and say, "Could you come down and just have a quick look at Mum and tell us what we're doing?" We can't even get her dentures out. Because of the experience my sister and I had with my mother at the end of her life, Mum's death is so full of trauma for us both. We cannot call ourselves a compassionate community when people are dying alone without the proper care they need, and where families are struggling with their loved ones at the end of life. If you support better access to palliative care, let's make some noise. Go to Palliative Care Australia and share your story. Thank you.